What's going on, guys? We're back again with another crazy UFC interview. Today we have Dana White destroys reporter talking about no leashes, free speech. I'm going to explain exactly what he means here, guys. We all know Sean Strickland was in the news massively. He was hating on different communities, and he was going crazy. And I will say this, guys, as my friend said to me the last day, shout out to Big Chris, you don't have to agree with anything that anybody says, guys. I personally don't agree with most of what people say. I'm an opinionated guy. I give my opinion on the internet every single day, 5 times a day, maybe sometimes 7, 10 times a day. But what you always have to respect, guys, is people's freedom of speech. They can say what they want. Don't let for all the people that get upset about the words and all these hatey words, don't let words affect you mentally, guys. These are just words. They're not real. To make your actions be the forefront of how you think and how you perform every single day. I love you guys. Make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what everybody thinks. I haven't actually watched this one yet, but yeah, let's get it, guys.
Dana, I just want to go back. You were talking about, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash? Free speech. And control what people say?
Yeah, so before we let this play out fully, guys, it's funny because these words and the way people phrase things are very, very important in life. Now, I know I'm looking into it very deeply, but this is the philosophy behind this, guys. This is the psychology behind it. It's like a psyop, psychological warfare. What he's basically trying to do is a few things here. He's trying to make Dana White basically say that he's giving people free reign to be homophobic, transphobic, everything like that, which he's not, guys. Second of all, a leash means that basically he curtails the speech. He has a certain arbitrary parameter, an arbitrary line that you can't cross. And if you cross that, that's when I curtail you and reel you back in, which would basically mean a leash. And he's basically saying that he allows them to cross these crazy lines, these arbitrary lines that they make up. Maybe it could be transphobic, homophobic, racist, whatever the case may be. But he doesn't, guys. He's just going by the American laws, which basically say that you have a full freedom of speech unless you intend to harm somebody or whatever the case may be, which is basically what those parameters fall under. But very interesting, guys. The language here, it's all semantics, okay? Semantics is like wordplay. It's all very, very specific what people have to say and specifically what people do. So, yeah, very interesting the way this is phrased, guys. We're going to go back over it at the end again.
Going to tell people what to believe? Going to tell people? I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I love that, guys. The Canadian media has been hounding Dana White, all the UFC fighters, because they basically have free speech in their platform, because he doesn't care, man, unless it falls under something that's breaking the law. In LeBron James NBA world, the NFL world, which I love to watch, in the football, soccer, whatever the case may be, guys, if you were to say anything like that they're saying in UFC, your contract would be gone. You would have no career. You'd be gone. That's it. Cut ties, no sponsorships, nothing. In the UFC, they do things differently, guys. And like I said, I don't agree with what Sean Strickland's saying. I'm not even agreeing with anything that anybody says on this platform. I have my own opinions, and that's always going to be the case. You have to take somebody by an individual basis, but they don't have a little leash that he kind of reins them in. It's free speech, guys, in America. God bless America, baby. We don't really have that here in Ireland, guys. I'm just going to say it to you guys straight up. We don't really have that here. For private platforms like YouTube, you can have free speech on this platform. But for their organization, the way they do things, it's kind of like done it by, as much as their sponsorships allow them, and they're their own sponsorship. You know what I mean? So...
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want, and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any... We had 2 gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks.
Yeah, guys, because they're tough. You got to be mentally tough. Don't worry about, even if you're anything that one of these groups and stuff, don't worry about what other people say about you, man. I get hate as well, guys, even though I know, they say straight white male. I get a lot of hate too, guys. And I literally, and not a lot, you know what I mean? That's an exaggeration, but everybody gets hate on the internet, right? Especially if you try and put yourself out there, if you're a politician, celebrity, which I'm none of those things, but I'm saying, if you put yourself out there to the world, guys, you're going to get hate. So learn to use your mind to break the steel trap that is, guys, the people curtailing you and people ridiculing you and making other people control your emotions. Don't have that. Let it happen, guys. Don't let that happen, okay?
Or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What do you got?
Like, people have different religions, people have different beliefs. Some people believe the world is flat. Some people believe the world is round. Some people believe, all these crazy different things, guys. But it's really interesting, the phraseology, and a lot of people overlook that. And Dana White instantly caught up on that. You can see the way he's looking at the reporter. He knows it's the same reporter that tried to quote unquote catch out Sean Strickland for, let's say, hurtful stuff. You know what I mean? And like I say, guys, I don't agree with it, or whatever. But you got to have the freedom of speech, guys. It's a very, very important thing, because that's what basically, I'm going to put it to you guys this way, man. In my personal opinion, freedom of speech is basically what makes us different than savages, and makes us different than like the Middle Ages, and like makes us like a progressive society in the Western world, quote unquote. If we don't have that freedom of speech, right, which I guess is a sort of curtailed freedom of speech as well, all right, it's all kind of curtailed, right, to an extent, but let's say more so than a lot of other places in the world, North Korea, etc., then we're kind of looking at really bad areas, because we don't want to go down that area. We want to have people say what they want. People can defend themselves. But I'll say this, guys. If you are going to be an offensive guy, well, then be ready to back it up, guys. Be ready to have a lot of fights. Be ready to have a lot of controversy surrounding your name. But that's what you deal with. Let's see exactly what he says again, guys. Because it's interesting phraseology.
You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about...
The way he says long leash, she's basically saying, like, most people don't give this kind of allowed a freedom of speech, like, but Dana White, being the G that he is, he just all goes, guys, until obviously it's like a criminal offense, which, we can kind of debate that too, so...
what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia, like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
Like...
Free speech. And control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes.
Yeah, that's real powerful words there, guys. Like, I know those things are bad, guys. Racism, homophobia, transphobia. Those things are, on the surface, definitely not a great thing to be portraying. I personally don't spread hate. I don't, or at least I try not to. If you're having a joke and stuff like that, maybe it's a bit different. But, if you're intentionally going out to hurt somebody, I personally probably won't want to choose to live my life that way, you know what I mean? Because, it can maybe hurt a guy or whatever. I don't want someone to jump off a bridge from something I'm saying. That's not the way I want to try and live my life. But at the end of the day, guys, you can't really control what people are going to do. I've said it in a video before. You can't really control the narrative. You can't really control what people are going to do, what people are going to say. So, chill out with the kind of controlling. I would never say to a person, I heard this in a podcast last day, shout out to the Irish podcast. I would never try and control what someone is saying. I would never try and say, oh, you can't say that, you can't do that. I'd be like, damn, I'd react to be like, geez, man, that's pretty wild. But, I mean, that's on you, buddy. Like, you can do what you want. Free world, guys. Free country. I love you guys all, man. Drop a comment down below what you guys think. That's why UFC, to me, is probably the greatest organization in the world, because they give that freedom of speech. They give that free press, that freedom to really say what you want, guys. It's like 100%. And a lot of people are mind blown by how this is like, a concept like that. In Canada, it's not really like that, guys. You can't really say whatever. In Ireland, guys, I'm going to bring it back home, because a lot of people think, oh, America. Yeah, the internet is mainly America, especially the Western world's internet is basically revolving around the USA. But, yeah, guys, it's not like that everywhere else in the world, sadly to say. I love you guys. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you all think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.